Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Champ, and I'm back with another banger. Yes, sir, man. Cartoon episodes that traumatized children, man. We gonna get right into it, man. But make sure, man, y'all liking, y'all comment, y'all subscribing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to talk to y'all in the comment section, bro. Let's have a little conversation. You know what I'm saying? Let's politic. You feel me? Hey, cartoon episodes that traumatized
Growing
children.
up,
Let's get
one
right
thing
to
we
it,
as kids loved doing was watching TV. Getting up early to watch Saturday morning cartoons,
Word.
or late at night to watch whatever was playing. These cartoons gave us dreams, expectations, and most of all, permanent memories. Though, some shows push the boundaries and make us remember the more...
Bitch, what the fuck? One biscuit?
We will be talking about cartoon episodes...
Bro, come on, bro. Come on, bro. This is why I don't DoorDash no more, bro. This is why I don't DoorDash, bro. Come on, bro. Damn. One goddamn biscuit, bro. What the fuck I'm gonna do with one biscuit? What I'm gonna do with one biscuit? Man, this is a snack, bro. This is half a snack, bro. What in the world, bro? That shit don't make no sense, bro. I mean, all right, man. Let's get right to this video, bro. That shit blew me, bro. I was ready to eat a good ass 4 or 5 biscuits, bro. I ordered 3.
Today, the day that you are watching this,
And usually they give me a little extra, bro.
Live Q&A on my Discord server, so you can join and ask a question. It's going to be heavily moderated by my amazing team of mods. I also want to say that this video is heavily inspired by Blame It on George. His link is down in the description. Make sure to go subscribe to him. I love him. I look up to him as a creator. Hopefully one day I can narrate for his channel because I know he invites a bunch of YouTubers to narrate for his videos. But yeah, go subscribe to him. I love him.
Where?
This list is in no particular order. It's a stop-motion claymation children's show created by Otmar Gutman in 1987. The main character is a penguin called Pingu who lives in the South Pole along with his family and friends. The show aired on BBC Children's and Education, and episodes averaged 5 minutes in length. Today, we will be talking about Season 1, Episode 26, Pingu's Dream. The episode starts off as normal, nothing out of the ordinary. Pingu's mom is reading him a bedtime story, and Pingu begins to drift away to sleep. He wakes up to the sound of his igloo jumping, and before you...
And they ain't give me no honey, bro. This dry ass biscuit with no goddamn honey, bro.
The igloo flies away. Then his bed extends its legs and it begins walking. The camera cuts to this creepy walrus watching Pingu in his bed go about their day. Not to mention that every time the walrus pops up, these synths are played. It just gives you some uneasy feeling. What's up with things involving walruses being creepy? Like, what the directors keep showing the audience how the walrus is just watching Pingu. Eventually, the walrus makes his introduction. And you know how the directors made this already creepy character make his introduction to children? This is how.
I ain't never seen it.
It's clear to see that the walrus is supposed to have this like goofy personality that finds everything funny and just wants to play. But they really messed up by making him almost human-like. The walrus begins messing with Pingu and eats his bed, all while non-stop laughing. Pingu and his bed begin running away, and Pingu ends up falling down a hill of snow. It was actually a pretty cool transition because the next camera zooms out and you can see that he's in his room again. The episode ends with Pingu crying and his mother consulting him. Yes. That's how this episode ends. Not only is this the ending to the episode, but this was actually the season finale. This episode was highly controversial and was eventually banned from television due to the giant walrus being too scary and unsettling for many young viewers. The creator Otmar Gutman actually used the same walrus model in a German short film he made years prior. This caught me off guard because the voice he used for the walrus is so unexpected. Here, I'll just play the clip. Yeah, let's move on the list.
What?
Blue Cat Blues, Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry need no introduction. I'm 100% sure everyone watching this video knows exactly who these two are. Blue Cat Blues is about Tom's love for a female cat which doesn't love him back. The video begins with a quote by Jerry's narrator while watching Tom sit on the train tracks patiently waiting for the train to come by. The quote is, "Poor Tom. In a few minutes it'll all be over. And for the first time since he met her, he'll be happy. Poor, miserable, lovesick creature. I suppose people will say I should have helped him. I know. But it's better this way." Talk about a kid's show getting dark. Throughout the episode, we see just how much Tom is in love with this cat, and how he is overthrown by another cat by the name of Mr. Butch. The cat with more money, more gifts, a better car, Tom resorts to drinking milk, which in this episode is a substitute for alcohol. Tom is seen sliding down a gutter until Jerry saves him. They get splashed by some water and come to find out it's Mr. Butch and the love of Tom's life riding away in his car with a just married sign. After this, the same thing happens to Jerry as his girlfriend is riding away with another mouse. Jerry brings himself down to the train tracks, sits next to Tom, and both patiently wait for the train to pass by. The episode ends with the haunting horn of a train.
I think I've seen this one.
This episode was banned by Cartoon Network and Boomerang due to its references to alcohol, and also I just want to clear up a common misconception, and that is that this is actually the finale to the series. It's not. Man's best friend, Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy ran on Nickelodeon.
I remember this one.
Tasks to see if they can keep up with how he wants his ideal pets to act. In one scene, he forces Stimpy to get on his couch so that he can learn how to be quote-unquote disciplined, and, well, just watch.
That's a good boy.
I have no idea how Nickelodeon let this show air in the first place. Eventually, George says that his pets need to learn how to attack. So he puts on this padded bite suit, and Stimpy is reluctant due to him being his owner. Ren, on the other hand, takes full advantage of this and begins beating the ever-living shit out of George with a paddle. So much so that George's head does a full 360 and right eyeball falls out of its socket. Ren continues on his rampage and just doesn't stop.
Yo, this is a kid show.
It even shows George with X's for eyes, and we all know what that means. Though he actually didn't die, it's still quite disturbing to add that little detail. But the disturbing parts of this episode don't end there. George climbs out of his suit, breathes like a maniac, and congratulates Ren on being a true champion. The episode ends with all three characters dancing. Yeah. Now, this episode actually never ended up airing on Nickelodeon. It was banned once they saw what it actually contained. But this episode was moved to Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon. And that show was basically a revival of the original, except with very sexual... It was just a very sexual show. I mean, if the creator went from making a kids show and turning that kids show into a sexual... I mean, I guess we could see where his mind was. Anyway, we could tell that this creator was trying to go with this dark humor, but it just ended up being super creepy for Cat. Or whenever
Cat and
Tom Kenny, SpongeBob's voice actor. Teeth for Two is actually a fun concept for an episode, where whenever one of them does something, the other one feels it, except it revolves around teeth. Look, I hate the dentist already. Yes, I do go, but just the fact that there's drills in your mouth, pause, nah bro, I just hate everything about the dentist so much. Anyway, the dentist tells them that the food they eat affects the other's teeth, resulting in Cat's teeth to become brown and withered. Cat tries to convince Dog to start eating healthy, but then turns into a battle seeing who can do more damage to the other's teeth. Cat chews on ice, and Dog chews on foil. Later that night, Dog is asleep and Cat attempts to brush his teeth. He is unable to do so because of all the food in his mouth. So what's the next best option? That's right, traveling inside of their own body to come out as an inside-out cat out of Dog's mouth.
What in the fuck is that, bro? Bro, what?
Dog screams of horror and swallows Cat back down to where he's supposed to be. Skipping to the end, they get their teeth fixed but end up getting food allergies from all the junk they ate throughout the entire episode. Never thought I'd see an inside-out cat trying to brush a dog's teeth. Knuckles and his hilarious problem. The Misadventures of Flapjack.
This used to be my show.
What they're for is the candy, which has the effects of alcohol, from feeling warm and happy, angry at the world, to depression. The next morning, after Knuckles ingests a bunch of candy, Flapjack realizes that Knuckles has become addicted to the candy, so much so that he hallucinates, sees Flapjack as a lollipop, and tries eating him. Next, Knuckles begins manipulating Flapjack and tells him that he's just fine and he can trust him. Though this only leads to 2 candy rampages where he steals from homes, babies, and a gumball machine. Then we go to this depressing scene showing just how this candy addiction...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. This show was kind of creepy, bro, but this show was lit, bro. Like,
has left Knuckles getting kicked out of the candy trough, being used as a
like, look at the face, bro. Like, this was like
from a stranger's mouth.
Cause I was born in 2000, bro. So yeah, this was the show when I was younger and shit.
Bubby decides to send Knuckles off to isolation on a piece of the boardwalk into the sea. Here, Knuckles begins hallucinating and imagines a giant Flapjack putting his arms inside of his mouth and vomiting candy into it.
Oh no. Look at it,
very
like the
dark
faces,
episode,
they be
seeing
weird,
just
bro.
how
That
bad
shit.
the effects of candy have left.
Not gonna lie.
I really like the episode though. It really makes you aware of just how bad alcohol or any addiction can be.
Word.
Earth Mover, Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond released in 1999 and aired on Cartoon Network and WB Kids. Today we're going to be talking
Bro,
about
tell me why I thought that was Avatar, bro, or
Season
some
1,
shit, bro.
Episode
Like,
15, aka Earth Mover.
I'm
We start with
stupid.
this teenage girl by the name of Jackie hanging with her friends, one of which is Terry McGinnis.
I ain't
aka
watched
the
this show,
Batman
bro.
after the
I mean,
original
I ain't really
Bruce
like
Wayne
it.
Batman. She
I'm not gonna
explains
lie.
that she's been feeling like she was followed and watched by someone. Soon after that, Terry sees a mysterious figure outside through the window. A chase begins, but the figure isn't caught. The next day, Jackie's adopted father gives all three of them a ride, but first he says he wants to show them something. That being a piece of land he plans on buying and placing a factory on. An earthquake happens, and again, there was another fight scene. After this, Bill, her adopted father, explains that he thinks it might be Jackie's real father looking for him. He tells the story from many years ago, and while he was trying to dump toxic waste into an abandoned mine shaft, the wire pulling up the container got stuck on a piece of wood and resulted in the entire mine shaft collapsing in on itself. Jackie's
Sheesh.
father was at the bottom and ended up being crushed by the debris. Not only that, but was covered by the toxic waste. Everyone assumed that he died instantly, and Bill felt so bad that he ended up adopting Jackie, who was only a kid at the time. Fast forward into the episode, and the Earth Mover has trapped both Jackie and Bill underground. During this scene, Jackie finds out what her father actually looks like, and, well... So like the text was saying, I can't show too much due to a copyright claim, but basically, Jackie is horrified seeing that this is her father. I mean, who wouldn't be? Look at the way they drew it. Yeah, that's basically the scene in a nutshell. I mean, even listen to that voice. It sounds like he's struggling to get his words out. He seems to think that Bill betrayed him and left him to die so that he didn't have to split the family down. Eventually, Batman swoops in and saves the day. The episode ends with this very dark quote.
My father.
He's not your father. Not really. He's a ghost.
Dad.
Mooch Master P, Mr. Meaty. Mr. Meaty.
Yo, this right here, cuz, bro, this was the weirdest show I ever watched, bro. But me and my older brother, bro, we was on timing, bro, when it was dropping episodes, bro. Mr. Meaty, where friends get to eat meat, pause. You know what I'm saying, bro? That was the show, bro.
All the characters were. The show followed fast food workers Josh and Parker through their odd adventures. Season 1, episode 6 begins with Parker quote-unquote mooching off of everyone and eating their food. Josh gets annoyed and tricks him into eating a raw patty. Then, weird things start happening. Like all of the food Parker is about to take a bite out
I remember
of.
this episode.
Josh records it with a camcorder and slows down the footage.
Damn, this shit is
Then
old.
we see that a giant tapeworm is living inside of Parker eating all of his food. They decide to get rid of the tapeworm the only way they know how, fishing it out of Parker's stomach. They do end up getting it out, and an Australian man comes by and says he'll buy it for his zoo, though he doesn't take it to the zoo. Instead, he swallows it whole in front of them.
Go. Come on in. That's the stuff.
And says she tickles on the way down. Wow. Okay. King Ramses' curse / remembrance of
This was the show, bro.
$1 million. A person
Not
from
gonna
the
lie.
museum it belongs to comes over to take it back and offers Eustace a tote bag. Really, my guy? I'm pretty sure you could legally get it back for free. Then the door gets slammed on him. When it becomes nighttime, they hear a creak at the door and check outside. Then we get King Ramses, who just keeps repeating, "Return the slab or suffer my curse."
Return the slab. Return the slab, or suffer my curse.
It's just such a creepy design, and also it's a 3D model in a 2D animated show. There's so many instances of just plain creepy stuff in this cartoon, but that's what gave it its charm. I feel like Courage the Cowardly Dog definitely let young kids know whether they like the horror genre. So, shout out to Courage the Cowardly Dog for that. I also want to talk about another episode called Remembrance of Courage Past, which is actually the second to last episode of the entire series. This episode is about Courage's parents, which sadly got taken
I
away
didn't
from
see
him
this.
at an early
Oh, yeah,
age
yeah, I
due to
remember
an
this.
evil veterinarian. This veterinarian puts Courage's parents in a rocket ship, and Courage can't do anything because he's just a pup. While being chased, Courage hops into the garbage disposal and escapes. He watches as his parents are sent off to space and waves goodbye.
That's pretty morbid.
We see how Courage is adopted by Muriel and why she decides to name him Courage. Meanwhile, in the present day, the same thing is about to happen to Muriel and Eustace, but luckily, Courage is able to save the day and send the veterinarian to space this time. In space, he finds himself with all the other dogs he has experimented on, including Courage's parents.
That's
Those two
crazy.
episodes never left my mind.
I ain't see that
I think
episode,
about
but
those episodes
that's
to this
lit.
day. Throwing the This episode is about Fry's old dog from 1997 named Seymour. In
I used
case
to
you
love
guys don't know,
Futurama, bro.
takes place in the year 3000, with Fry being the only person from the year 2000, since he accidentally fell into a cryogenic chamber on New Year's Day. Anyway, Fry finds Seymour as a fossil in a museum, where he then takes home to the professor. The professor explains that he can actually bring back Seymour with new technology, and so Fry begins getting ready for Seymour's return. This includes a doggy bed, a collar, and some chew toys. When the professor is ready to bring back Seymour, Bender throws his body into a pit of lava because he's jealous that Fry will have a new best friend. We get a flashback of Seymour doing everything in his power to find Fry. Seymour eventually finds Fry, but no one in the lab notices that Fry is in there. Even his parents, who go to pick up Seymour. Talk about frustration. Anyway, Bender jumps into the lava pit and retrieves Seymour's body. Seymour didn't burn due to the material covering his body. The professor finds out that Seymour actually lived his full lifespan of 15 years, 12 years after Fry's disappearance. So Fry decides not to bring him back, simply because he doubts Seymour even remembers him, and he probably moved on with another family. But wait, here's the kicker. We, the audience, get a flashback as to what Seymour did after Fry's disappearance, and all that was waiting outside of the pizzeria for 12 years until eventually passing away. He waited 12 years hoping that his owner would come back, and the song they play, oh my god. Every time I watch this episode, it makes me cry. This episode was actually nominated for an Emmy in 2003, which, that's just how good the episode was. Sadly, it did not win the Emmy. The Simpsons beat it out, which is also made by Matt Groening. So, Matt Groening, good on you. Yeah, this episode tore my heart out when I watched it. I hope you guys enjoyed that video.
Word, man. Hey, yeah, just like you said, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that video, man. Tell me your favorite cartoon that you was watching when you was younger. Let me hear that. What was your favorite cartoon when you was younger, bro? Your absolute favorite, bro. Or you can say two if you want to. If you can't choose between two, just let me know in the comment section, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. It's your boy ChampReacts. We out.